everyone from Carissing Your Vitality. My name is Josie from Community Tech Network. And today, in this third part of our lesson on sharing photos, we'll go over yet another great option for doing this, Instagram. So if you're not familiar with Instagram, it's a very popular social media platform, which is owned by Meta, the company formerly known as Facebook. It is a separate platform from Facebook, but they are linked, and some people use them as two platforms linked together so that any content they post on Instagram is simultaneously shared on Facebook. You don't have to use it this way, though. You can use it separately from Facebook or have one account on Facebook and another on Instagram. And if you don't have Instagram already, that app can be found in the App Store. So again, here I can enter search and type in Instagram. So this is what it looks like. You can go ahead and install it. You can tap Get if you don't have it already. I'll go ahead and open it since I already have it installed. Once you first install it, you'll be asked to sign in or create an account. So if you have a Facebook account already signed in on your iPad, you'll probably be asked if you want to continue with that account, which you can do, or you can create a new account. So like any account, they'll ask for some basic information, and then you can get your account set up. Also, in the process of setting up your account for the first time, you'll get a chance to start following accounts. So Instagram will recommend certain popular celebrity accounts and may recommend other accounts based on who is in your contacts. So if you're going through that process of setting up the account, just follow the instructions until it's ready. So now that I'm signed in my Instagram account, let's go over the basic navigation of this app. So when you open it, you'll be in this home section. So we have various tabs at the bottom that take you to different parts of the app. But this home section is called the Instagram feed. And here is where you'll find newer posts on top. And from there, you can just kind of scroll down. So this is an example of an Instagram post. And above the post, it shows who posted it, National Health Corps. Here's some information, but usually Instagram is all focused on photos, maybe videos. Sometimes you even have a couple photos indicated by these two little dots underneath. And if I scroll through my newsfeed, I'll find other posts. So here's one from SF City Guides. Things about plants. So this is usually what people are doing when they're on Instagram. They're scrolling through their feed and looking at the posts that that are presented to them. And some of this is based on which accounts you followed. Some are also ads. This one, for example, is marked as sponsored. So that's kind of the basics of what you do in your feed. You scroll, look at the photos, and you can respond in various ways. For example, if I like this photo, I can check out the second photo. And underneath, there's an option to tap the heart, just to say I like it. You can also add a comment by tapping on that little speech bubble, and you'll see your keyboard comes up. You can write something, or you can also select one of these reactions. You can also share a post with someone else. So if you have a friend or family member on Instagram, you think, hey, I think they would like this post. You can tap this little paper plane and you'll get an option to share that post, either add it to your story, which we'll talk about later, or send it as a message to an account. I will not do that right now. And then this option on the right side will add a photo or a post to your collection. So that's something you can do if you just want to save some sort of record of those posts or photos that you really like. So that's the basics of the Home tab. And you can always scroll back up to the top, and depending on how many accounts you follow, as you check the app throughout the day or throughout the week, you'll see newer posts appearing on top. Also on this home screen, you may see some things up here in this top row. These are called stories. This first one is always your account, your profile picture. And if you have published a story, you'll see a circle around it. But any other accounts you have that have a story will also appear here. And so you can tap on that circle to view the story. And stories, if you're new to them, are a kind of post, but they're temporary. So they only stick around 24 hours and then they disappear. So stories, temporary posts, and then down below in the newsfeed are proper, regular posts. So moving on, at the bottom, we'll go to the magnifying glass. And this takes you to the Discover mode, Instagram Discovery, or Explore mode. And here's where you can tap on the search bar to look something up. All these photos and videos here are just things that Instagram is recommending to me. So these aren't photos of accounts that I follow. They're just saying, hey, these are things you might be interested in. So it can be kind of fun to browse through that. You might come across accounts that are interesting. And you can tap on any of these posts. Let's say, tap on this one, and I can see which account this is, who posted this photo. I could always also tap that name there to go to the person's account, see all their photos. And if I like their content, I might choose to follow them so that their future posts show up in my newsfeed. And again, here is an indication, this reddish orange circle around their profile picture tells me that they have a story that's active right now. So besides engaging with these recommended posts, you can also search up here for something specific. So let's see. I like dogs, so I'll search dogs. And so this is a fun way to come across interesting posts and accounts. And the search function in Instagram is kind of divided into several sections. So under that search bar, after you've already typed in a search, when you tap that person icon, you'll see accounts related to dogs. So these are all different accounts. And I could tap on any one of these to see what kind of things they have. I could follow them. And definitely when you're first getting started with Instagram, I recommend following a number of accounts. If you don't follow many accounts, your newsfeed will be pretty boring. There won't be much activity. The second icon, the little music note, will actually give you audio content related to dogs. The third one, this is hashtags. So hashtags are ways to mark your post as being related to a certain topic. And you don't have to use hashtags when you make a post, but a lot of people do. And it's a way to get your posts to reach a larger audience. So with my example of dogs, I can see hashtag dogs has 146 million posts. Dogs of Instagram is very popular. And if I tap on that, I'll see many photos and posts that had that hashtag dogs of Instagram. So this is not one account, this is many different people all around the world who just used this hashtag. And you can follow hashtags. So if you really want to see a lot of dog photos and videos, you can follow that hashtag. And if I go back to my newsfeed, we'll see, you can always do that, pull down on the newsfeed to refresh. So there is an example, hashtag dogs of Instagram. So that is why this is now showing up in my newsfeed, is because I followed that hashtag. Okay, so getting back to our search. There's also this final icon here, which doesn't make a lot of sense with this dogs search, but this is locations. So maybe, let me just search California instead. California, and search. And now if I tap on that final icon, I'll see different locations. And if I choose San Francisco, for example, this will be different posts that were somehow related to San Francisco. They used the San Francisco tag. And as I'll show you later, when you make a post yourself, you can add a location. So this search section is also where you can look up people. So if you know that you have a friend or a family member that's on Instagram, you can always type in their name. I'll just make somebody up. You can search a name like Bob Anderson. And you'll come up with usually several accounts. So sometimes you can tell from the photo, oh, this is the person I'm looking for. But you could tap on their account and then see. So that's a way of finding people. Okay. Moving on, the third icon at the bottom is Reels.
Good morning, my neighbor! Tick, tick, boom.
Let me just turn my volume down there. Okay. My volume's off now, so we can take a look at what these Reels are. They're just short little edited videos, and these are not from people or accounts that I follow. They're just random. So somewhere in the world, someone posted these Reels, and they're really just for fun, for checking out videos. Some of them are silly, some are maybe funny. And this is how you look at Reels. You just kind of swipe up and watch them. On the right side, there are things you can do like tap to like it. You can comment by tapping on that speech bubble. Or you can send it if you think, oh, my friend would love this Reel. You can tap there and send it to somebody. Lots of dancing videos. So that's something you can check out. Okay, moving on to this fourth icon at the bottom. This is Instagram Shop. I would say this is probably not the number one place to go for shopping. It's a relatively new feature of Instagram, but it just has a variety of products that you can buy. Many of them are sold through Instagram. I would just definitely advise you, if you look at the shopping section, be very cautious. Make sure you do research on any product or company before ordering from them. And then finally here, this last icon, it will look different on your account. It will show a little thumbnail of your profile picture. And this takes you to your profile. So at the top, I can see my Instagram name or Instagram handle, you sometimes hear it called. Your profile picture, you might have a little description here, how many posts you've made, and you can see your posts show up there. Number of followers and the number of accounts you're following. And here's where you can edit your profile if you need to. If you want to look back at your old posts, this is the place to do it. You'll see these icons here. The grid one is just showing posts you've made. This one with a person will show photos and videos of you. So that would be if someone else on Instagram posted a photo and tagged you, that would show up here. I don't have any photos. Next, I did want to point out how to check whether your account is public or private. So when you're in your profile, which is again this final icon at the bottom, you can tap up here on these 3 lines to open a menu. And here you can go into settings and tap privacy. And this is what you would need to tap on to turn on a private account. So if an account is private, that means in order for someone to see your posts and your stories, they will have to follow you and you will have to approve them before they can access any of those posts. If this is not turned on, then your account is public. So that means anyone in the world could come across your account. Maybe they would find it because of a hashtag you used, or maybe they search something and come across your account. So just consider what you're comfortable with. And definitely if you're posting anything very personal, such as where you live or anything that you wouldn't want to be known to strangers, make sure you turn on that private account. And if you want both, if you want to have a public account and you also want some privacy, many people will have 2 accounts on Instagram where one is private and they save that for friends and family that they really know. And you can also have a public account where you maybe share cooking recipes and beautiful scenery of your city. So that's definitely an option too if you want the best of both worlds. And while we're here in the privacy settings, I'll just point out there are a lot of controls you have over your account. For example, if you don't want everyone to be able to comment, if someone's harassing you, you could always go ahead and limit these things. You can block comments. Activity status is something if you want other accounts to know when you were active or when you were active. So I definitely recommend checking out all these settings on your own time. And there's a lot of things here, a lot of information you can find. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my newsfeed. And now let's get into the fun part, which is how to post a photo. Because this lesson really is all about sharing photos. And you can use Instagram passively and just come on here and look at photos and follow celebrities and so forth. But it is fun to use it more actively and share photos. So to do that, you can tap on this plus sign up on top. And we're going to focus just on posts and stories. And we'll start with a post. So a post, again, is those things that showed up in my newsfeed. So they're photos, they're permanent. You can go back later and delete them, but in general, these are more formal posts. And usually people take the time to make these beautiful, to make sure they're nice quality photos. And right now what I'm seeing my recent photos that I've taken down here. You can also tap to select from a different album. There's an option to select multiple photos if you want to post a few photos together. There is a limit to how many you can post at once. And there's also a camera here if I wanted to open the camera and take a picture right now. So I'll just go ahead, we'll use this photo as an example. There's also an icon here where you can just decide what format you want it to be. Do you want it to be a square or in the original shape. And then you tap next. Now you have some more options for how this photo looks. So down below are various filters. And you'll see they just kind of change the color and light of your photo. So if the original photo is kind of blasé, oftentimes these filters help make them look a little nicer. And once you get something you like, great. There's also options here to edit. So if you want to manually make some adjustments, I could increase the contrast or decrease it. So a lot of things you can play with on your own here. Saturation. Up on top is also this little wand icon. It's called Lux. And if you use this slider, you'll see this makes a softer looking photo. This makes it a little more sharp and contrasted. And when you're happy with the look of the photo, you can go on to next. So here I have the option to write a caption. This is not required. You can always skip this, but it is fun to write some little caption. And this is also where you would add that hashtag if you wanted to use that. So you'll see as soon as I type in that hashtag, it's going to start giving me recommendations. So, for example, Cats of Instagram has 177 million posts. And since my account is public, if I add that, this might mean more people will see my photo. You have an option to tag people. So if this was a photo of a group of friends, and some of those friends are on Instagram, I could add a tag and find that specific account. You can also add a location. And when you tap add location, based on your GPS, you'll see recommendations. So you can just do San Francisco. There are specific businesses or restaurants that will show up as well. So for example, if it's maybe a group of friends out at a restaurant, you could include that. You could say, yes, we're at House of Prime Rib, and you could add that tag. Definitely be careful using locations, especially if you're posting at the moment that you're at that location. You don't want strangers all over the world to know exactly where you are, because there are cases of people using this for malicious purposes. So I usually recommend sticking with more general locations like San Francisco. And down below here are options to also post this to Facebook or Twitter or Tumblr if you have those accounts set up. And once you're happy with everything, you would tap share. And now any accounts that follow me will probably see this photo in their newsfeed. And they can react by liking or commenting or so forth. And if I tap to go to my profile, I will see this is now there in my history of posts. So next, let's get into how to make an Instagram story. So same as before, we tap the plus sign, choose story this time. And again, this is gonna open up my recent photos, as well as the option to open the camera. And here you can see if these photos that have that infinity symbol were live photos. So that means it's a few seconds of time. And I can use it. They have these things called boomerangs, which is a little more advanced. So as an example, let me just choose, let's say this photo. So it puts that photo on a colored background. And here, when you're publishing a story, you have a lot more features that you can add to it. And again, a story is going to be a temporary post, only visible for 24 hours. And typically people use stories for more casual, lighthearted things. Maybe, oh, I got a latte and the foam is beautiful. You might add that to your story, because posts are usually people use posts for more thoughtful posts, like photos that you've really spent some time on, or really special photos. Whereas these stories can be very, very casual, since they disappear in 24 hours. So some examples of what I can do. There's an AA button, which allows me to write something. Beautiful day, for example. And you can also choose your font. So you have a variety of options depending on what you're looking for. You can also change the color, which is kind of fun. You can change if you want it to be more centered or on the left. And you can even change the size there. So let me decrease that a little bit. So it takes some playing around with. When you're happy with the text, you can move it around. You can also kind of twist it. A lot of things you can do. This next icon opens up some more things. So they're featured stickers, which change. Since it's Black History Month, we've got some stickers related to that. You can add a location. You could say San Francisco, or you could type some more specific place. You can mention someone using this @ symbol. So that would be if you're with a friend, that friend's on Instagram, you could say @ and then start to type their Instagram handle or their Instagram name. So it's kind of, they'll get a notification that they were mentioned in your story, and then they can add it to their story if they want. So it's optional. But many things here you can do. You can add music. You can take a poll. You can add a GIF, which are these little animated videos. And you can drag those around. So definitely plenty of things here to explore. A date, a countdown. And then this next icon has some different little special effects to add glitter or snow, add some little hearts. They're just more fun features. Whoa. Can come across some really interesting things here. And some of these are also specific to selfies. So if I had taken a selfie, there are some features here, like this would probably add sunglasses to my face. So some of them don't work with every photo. And you can always cancel something if you don't like it, or tap done. Next, if I tap these 3 dots, you can even draw on it. You can choose a color. So that's kind of fun. Lots of tools up here to help with your drawing. You can also save. So since this story will disappear after 24 hours, if you want to have that saved on your iPad, you can do so. And then finally, once you're happy with it, down at the bottom, you would either tap your story. So this will add to your story. And again, it depends on your account settings who can see it. Or you can also set up this group of close friends. So many people, if they have a public account, maybe some stories that are more personal, like at home or with close family, you might want to not share as broadly. So you can set that up to only share to close friends. I don't have that set up. So I would go ahead and tap on your story. And you can also message something to a specific person. If you don't want to share it publicly, you could send it to someone specific. And it's giving me more options if I want to send this story to specific people. You don't have to do that. And again, you don't have to also share to Facebook. It's only if you want to. And now I can tell that I have a story because it shows up here. And you can view it again by just tapping on it like that. So this can be pretty fun. So again, posts, permanent. Stories are just there for a little bit. And I definitely recommend playing around with the stories. If you turn on the camera in stories, you can add all kinds of fun effects to your face. So it's a fun time. I hope this was interesting and helpful. If you haven't tried out Instagram, give it a try. And again, you don't have to post. You can just go ahead and follow celebrities, follow friends of yours, and just look at the photos. Lots of great dogs and cats on Instagram. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.